Let's rise, and Kristen, can you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Fort Lee Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published on January 13th, 2022 and January 14th, 2022, and posted on the district website at www.flboe.com, published in the board's designated online newspapers, the Record and the Star Ledger, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Fort Lee, and mailed to all persons, if any, who have requested said notice. Please be advised that this meeting is being taped and may be broadcasted on local TV and the district's website at a future date. The Open Public Meeting Act allows for remote participation at board meetings and defines the word meeting as any gathering, whether corporal or by means of communication equipment, which is attended by or open to all of the members of a public body, held with the intent on the part of the members of the body present to discuss or act as a unit upon the specific public business of that body. May we please have roll call?
Ms. Cho. Ms. Curry.
Here.
Dr. Wolfenopoulos. Ms. Morel. Here. Ms. Richter. Here. Ms. Ramba.
Here.
Mr. Rubino.
Mr. Rubino.
Here.
Ms. Stasu. Here. Ms. Colback.
Here.
You have quorum.
The board will be convening to executive session to discuss legal, personnel, and other confidential matters. The board will reconvene in public session at approximately 7:30 p.m. tonight. May I have a motion to go into private session?
Motion.
Motion Stasu, second Morel. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? We are now in enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Fort Lee Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published on January 13th, 2022 and January 14th, 2022, and posted on the district website at www.flboe.com, published in the board's designated online media newspapers, the Record and the Star Ledger, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Fort Lee, and mailed to all persons, if any, who have requested said notice. Please be advised that this meeting is being taped and may be broadcasted on local TV and the district's website at a future date. The Open Public Meeting Act allows for remote participation at board meetings and defines the word meeting as any gathering, whether corporal or by means of communication equipment, which is attended by or open to all of the members of a public body, held with the intent on the part of the members of the body present to discuss or act as a unit upon the specific public business of that body. May we please have roll call?
Ms. Cho. Ms. Curry.
Here.
Dr. Wolfenopoulos.
Here.
Ms. Morel.
Here.
Ms. Richter. Here. Ms. Ramba.
Here.
Mr. Rubino.
Here.
Ms. Stasu.
Here.
Ms. Colback.
Here.
You have quorum.
The board convened in executive session at 6:30 p.m. today to discuss legal, personnel, and other confidential matters. We have two walk-in resolutions tonight. The first is Resolution 3B. It relates to a residency hearing that we held in private session, and the resolution reads as follows. Therefore, be it resolved that the Fort Lee Board of Education hereby permits the following non-resident student to continue enrollment at the Fort Lee Public Schools and waives tuition costs for the 2022-2023 school year, and that is student ID number 45 39616461, a high school student at grade 12. That's 3B. We also have 4B, a matter that was discussed in private session tonight, and the resolution reads as follows. Resolution to authorize Eric Harrison Esquire of Methessel and Werble ESQS to file a counterclaim on behalf of the Fort Lee Public Schools in the matter of Dobco, Inc. versus Fort Lee Board of Education, bearing arbitration number AAA number 01-003-7543. Mr. Kravitz.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for all attending the Board of Education meeting. I remind everyone that during the summer, the Board of Education sets some district goals. As we move forward, we remind everyone that we are focusing on accomplishing these goals that we set. So we have a lot of positive things happening in our schools, and starting in the next week, and actually one school already sent it out, you will start to see newsletters going out. They're all similar newsletters, but by each school, so we'll be forwarding those to the board members as well, but parents will start to see them. Check your email boxes. This is one action step, and just to remind everyone of what that looks like. Goal number 3, district goal number 3, was to improve communication with all stakeholders regarding district goals, operations, and procedures. And that includes Board of Education communication. We will be doing our scores presentation in November, and we will be sending out these bi-weekly updates from all of our schools starting over the next week and a half. There's more interaction with our Genesis parent portal. We will be scheduling parent university presentations. One of our other goals we will be working on is number 4, district goal number 4, addressing the academic, social, emotional, and behavioral needs of all our students within the operating budget of the district. We will be implementing a multi-tiered system of support on the budget, on the agenda this evening. You will see that working with Olympic Data Management Services, as well as with Rutgers University, to implement that multi-tier system, which is the MTSS that we talked about. That will help us address that goal number 4. So as we continue to move through the year, I'd like to remind everyone of the goals, because that's what we're here for, and I'm very proud of where we're working towards. Thank you.
At this point, we would normally hear from our high school representatives, and so maybe Mr. Kravitz, you could follow up.
Yes.
Now that school is back in session, and they could be at our next meeting. But thank you for your report. Let me ask, are you the high school representative?
Oh, okay, then there we go.
That's what I thought.
You sit right up here with us. So you could just turn, there's a name there, you could just turn it down. And so you're going to have to introduce yourself to the public, because unfortunately I didn't realize that you were our representative. So
Thank you, we need microphones.
you have the floor.
Wait a second, we're going to get you some microphones, actually. Make sure they work.
Introduce your name and what grade you are.
Hi everyone, thank you for the warm introduction. I apologize for being late. Today we weren't sure whether to come in or not, but hello, my name is Michelle Choi, and I am one of the officers at the General Student Council at the Fort Lee High School.
Hi, my name is Eileen Big. I'm a senior and I'm a student representative of the Student Council.
Anything interesting happening at the high school that you want to let us know about?
Yeah, so actually this Friday there is going to be a spirit day where all the students are going to be dressing in black, and it's called a blackout actually at the high school. And so all the students are going to come dressed in black, and then at the end of the day, the marching band is actually going to do a performance for the entire high school, and then the seniors in the marching band are going to be introduced. So that's going to be a whole fun spirit event that's happening on Friday. It would be usually last period, so 9th period.
And then next week on October 12th, the 10th and 11th graders will be taking the PSAT at our school.
So those are just the future events that are happening. And what actually happened last week, there is a pep rally at the high school. So we had a whole spirit week that entire week actually. So one of the themes was everyone wore pink one day, another time it was a throwback Thursday, and then we had a fun relay race at the end of the day on Friday. So that happened a couple weeks ago actually.
Well, thank you so much.
No. So far, everything is running smoothly. All the students are getting adjusted to the school year, and so far from what we can see, everyone's doing good right now at the high school.
Excellent to hear. Does anyone have any committee reports?
We met the personnel committee met, and we just discussed the various positions open in the district and just information regarding them that I'm not going to them, but and what we might want to see in the future and things like that. So it's very productive.
First, let me just thank you for your enthusiastic report. So we look forward to hearing from you two or whoever comes. So I want to thank you. Any other committee reports?
Are we going to be, these going to be our representatives now for the year, or do they change, or?
So there's multiple general officers of the student council, so we're going to rotate at every board of education.
Oh, very nice.
So you'll have different faces at the next meeting. I guess. Yes, I do.
Do board members have questions or comments on tonight's agenda or any other topic? Okay. They have a motion to open the floor to the public.
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morale, second Richter, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So, well, we normally would hear first from members of the public that are physically located here, but we don't have anyone tonight. So for our remote public participants, please select the raised hand button in the upper left corner. Our board secretary, Harkeisha Taylor, will recognize each community member in the order of the raised hands by lowering the hand and unmuting the microphone if you're muted. Please then state your name and home address for the record and begin your comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Do we have any members of the public with raised hands? I see Sarah up on the screen. Hello? I think you're muted, Sarah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Sarah Crickshin. I'm a mom with a little one at school 3 and a little one at the intermediate school. So first, a shout out to the high school representatives. You were amazing. So great to see you here. Excellent job. And I also just wanted to thank Mr. Kravitz. He's done a really excellent job during his tenure. And I think in our last meeting, we failed to mention that. So thank you very much, Mr. Kravitz. You're very responsive and thoughtful in all your responses to our school. So many thanks. I came this evening just to follow up on something that Amy Kotang and I raised in the last meeting, and that's representation on the Board of Education. Amy is on a flight back from London. She just ran the Berlin and London Marathon. Go figure. So she sends her greetings and regards. So just very quickly, we wanted to thank you all again for your reception when we raised representation on the Board of Education. We raised that over 90% of the board is white, and our district is over 70% BIPOC or minority or kids of color and families of color, and many immigrants, and English is their second language. So we're very grateful for your reception for that. And then very quickly, just wanted to update you on what we're doing to support the Board of Education to further that goal of greater representation. So just 4 quick points. First, our group is growing. We started with 2, Amy Kotang and I. We have now about 20 people who are involved in our group. It's called Fort Lee Let's Include at gmail.com. We'll have our first meeting later this month. Secondly, we've begun to identify candidates, so BIPOC, people of color candidates that we're hoping to support for the next election cycle. So we'll be releasing that list of hopefully 10 candidates by early next calendar year. So folks that I think all of you can rally around, and so many of the community in Fort Lee can as well. Third, we'll be releasing a Q&A later this month. So why is representation important? Why should it matter to all people in Fort Lee? And why will it benefit our school system and kids? This was inspired by a retired police officer on Facebook who serves as a school resource officer who's discouraging parents from advocating for more representation. And we really want to help bring forward voices of why increased representation really brings our community together. It is not at all divisive. So we'll share a Q&A on that later this month. And then finally, we're offering our partnership with the Board of Education. For those of you who have served over 5 terms on the board, we want to partner with you to help with your legacy planning if you're going to roll off the board, helping to find candidates of color that you can support, and also those who plan to run again, candidates of color you can run with as a team. So those are some updates from us from Fort Lee Let's Include at gmail.com, and many thanks for the time and much gratitude to the Board of Education and everyone on the line tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
There are no other raised hands.
I have a motion to close the motion. Motion Morales, second Rubino, all in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any opposed? Okay, let's move to resolutions. May I have a motion to approve items 1B through 4B?
Motion, Ramba. Second.
Motion Ramba, second Morale, roll call, please.
Dr. Golfinopoulos.
Yes.
Ms. Curry.
Yes.
Ms. Ramba.
Yes.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes.
Ms. Stasu.
Yes.
Ms. Colbath.
Yes.
Motion carries.
May I have a motion to approve item 1B and G?
Motion, Ramba. Second.
Motion Ramba, second Morale, roll call, please.
Ms. Richter.
Yes.
Dr. Golfinopoulos.
Yes.
Ms. Stasu. Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Ramba.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Ms. Curry.
Yes.
Ms. Colbath.
Yes.
Motion carries.
May I have a motion to approve item 1CUR?
Motion.
Motion Ramba, second Richter, I think.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Richter.
Yes.
Ms. Curry.
Yes.
Ms. Stasu.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Ms. Ramba.
Yes.
Dr. Golfinopoulos.
Yes.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Colbath.
Yes.
Motion carries.
May I have a motion to approve items 1F through 11F?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morale, second Richter, roll call, please.
Ms. Curry.
Yes.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Cho. Sorry. Ms. Stasu.
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Ms. Ramba.
Yes.
Dr. Golfinopoulos.
Yes.
Ms. Colbath.
Yes.
Motion carries.
May I have a motion to approve items 1P through 14P?
Motion.
Motion Morale, second Rubino, roll call, please.
Ms. Stasu.
Yes.
Ms. Ramba.
Yes.
Dr. Golfinopoulos.
Yes.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Ms. Curry.
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes.
Ms. Colbath.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have a motion to approve items 1 POL and 2 POL.
Motion.
Second Ramba. Motion Morale, second Ramba, roll call, please.
Pardon me. I don't see Ms. Ramba's name. That was, motion was made by Morel and seconded by
Morale,
Ms.
second
Ramba.
by Ramba.
Ms. Stasu.
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Dr. Golfinopoulos.
Yes.
Aha, Ms. Stasu is on here twice. Ms. Ramba.
Yes.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Curry.
Yes.
Ms. Colbath.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Is there any old business? Is there any new business?
Yes,
Go ahead.
I just want to make a statement. The last board meeting, we did the same thing that we did tonight, and I gotta tell you, I get so happy when we do something that's about student achievement and we can make a difference in a student's life, it just makes everything, the good and the bad, all worthwhile. I gotta just tell
Totally
you.
agree. Mike, you wanted to make an announcement on an event?
Yeah, there's an event that the Portland Athletic Club is having on October 27th. They're a big supporter of Portland schools. They give out 6 scholarships. Last year, the 6 students, I believe, for $1,000 a piece. They're having a casino night on October 22nd. You can go on the website, either on Facebook or on the website if you want more.
Is that a Saturday?
Yes.
You know, It's a Saturday?
Yes.
Any other new business? May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion, Rubino, second, Morel, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Any abstentions? Everyone, thank you for coming tonight.